Hi, hello, good evening everyone. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we have another interesting topic to learn and understand. That is, what is the difference between neutral and earthing? Let's see the basic difference between these two.
A few moments later.
Okay friends, I'm going to explain the basic difference between neutral and earthing based on some examples. So for that, I have drawn some wiring diagrams. Today's date is 4th July 2024. Let me start with the basic differentiative definition uh, between neutral and earthing. Now, it's a very general sense and everybody knows about it very well that what is a neutral? Neutral is a written path for the current from the load to source. Neutral is a written path for the current to flow from load to source. For example, if you observe this one, it is a single phase transformer and it is a generation point. Just assume that the primary winding is fed by the generator and the secondary winding is feeding the load. So therefore, the secondary winding, and since it is a single phase transformer, we have only two wires. It's a two-wire system. So in that, the first wire is called phase and the second wire is called neutral. Here, the phase wire is nothing but the path for the forward current and neutral is nothing but the path for the return current or reverse current. That means this phase wire is acting like a forward path, and whereas the neutral is acting like a return path, right? Now these two wires are connected. Suppose if this is the transformer situated or located or installed at our premises, in our locality, maybe near to our home. Now these two wires coming from the transformer are directly coming to your home. Since all the domestic appliances are working with the single phase power supply, just I have taken an example of single phase transformer only. We can also explain with the three phase transformer, but still it is nothing wrong to explain with the single phase transformer. So the phase wire and neutral two wires are coming into your home and directly given to your switchboard, of course, through energy meter, right? So now I have a switchboard. In this, I have two sockets. So each socket is having almost two connections, because I mean you can use two different kind of connections depending upon the size of the plug, right? Now here, if you observe this one, either you can use 2-pin plug here as well as you can use 3-pin plug here. Now as I told you, neutral is nothing but the return path for the current, because the current always starts flowing only in the closed path. What is the meaning of closed path? One forward path and one return path. If phase wire is facilitating the path for the forward current, the neutral wire is going to facilitate the path for the return current or reverse current. So therefore, without the neutral, that path cannot be closed. Without the neutral, the current cannot flow in the circuit. If the current is not flowing through the circuit, that means it doesn't even go through your appliances also. So simply, neutral is nothing but the return path for the current, which is coming from the load to source. Now, what is the meaning of earthing, or even you can also call as grounding? Neutral is absolutely different from the earthing. Always carry no current, whereas neutral carries current when the path is closed. For example, these two wires are connected to, as I told you, from the transformer, two wires are coming and they are connected to your switchboard. Now here, for example, think that at the back end, it is connected to this point and is connected to this point. This one. From the back end, both are connected to this point, right? Now, if you take a tester, if you insert here, since this is phase and neutral, if I interchange this one, these two also will get interchanged. You take a tester and insert here, you will see the availability of the current. Similarly, if you insert the tester in this hole, you will not see any current. That means at this point of situation, why the neutral is not carrying current? Because the path is not closed. That means when the circuit is not closed, the neutral carries no current. When the circuit is closed, it has to be closed only with the help of neutral only. Therefore, at that point of time, neutral also carries current. Now, what is the current carried by neutral? Whatever the amount of current that is carried by the phase wire, the same amount of current is going to be there in the neutral wire. There is no change, because the same current which is going forward and meeting the requirement of the appliance and coming back to the source through the neutral line. Therefore, since it is a single loop, it's a series connection. Obviously, the current coming to the source through neutral is also same as the current going from the source to load. That means phase wire and neutral wire will have same current when the circuit is closed with the appliance. When the appliance is not connected, when we are not switching on the fan, the socket is open. That means we will have only the potential at phase wire, whereas there is no potential at neutral wire. That means it doesn't carry any current, right? Now, what does earthing means? As I told you, neutral is return path, but earthing is not that so. Earthing is nothing but grounding some part of the system, some part of the network, or whole part of the network or circuit to the ground. Connecting some part or whole part of the system, electrical system, into the ground. That electrical system may be of comprehensive in nature. It may be consisting of single appliance, it may be consisting of multiple appliances, it may be consisting of the whole entire electrical power system, right? What is the significance of neutral and earthing? As I told you, significance of neutral is nothing but it is going to carry the return path, it is going to return path for the current. And what is the significance of the earthing? What happens if neutral is not there? Current will not flow. What happens if earthing is not there? That is very important to know. Here, in this switchboard, so this is one connection, and this is another connection. As I told you, since we have two type of connections, you can use either a smaller plug one or bigger plug one depending upon the current capacity. You can use 16 amperes or you can use 10 amperes. Think that this socket is designed in such a way that it is going to accept 5 amperes, 10 amperes and 16 amperes, of course even 12 amperes also. And also, I told you, it is having option to use 2-pin plug as well as 3-pin plug. What is the difference between 2-pin and 3-pin? Then only you understand what is the meaning of earthing. It is having only 2 points, 2 connections or 2 ports coming out from the appliance. One is phase, other one is neutral. So, for example, I have taken appliance as fan 1. First appliance as fan 1. I think every one of you might be knowing that the configuration of the fan. Fan is having only 2 wires coming out. Leads are going to coming out. So, therefore, these 2 leads are connected to one switch and one plug, and that 2-pin plug is going to be inserted maybe here or here. So, I am going to use these 2 holes or these 2 holes. I am not going to use this top one. I will tell you what is top one. The second one, refrigerator, or you can even say washing machine, or you can say AC, or you can say water heater, geyser, or electric cooker, or induction stove. Sometimes even air coolers also, right? That means higher applications or higher power capacity appliances will be having 3-pair connection, the 3-plug connection, 3-pin plug. Whereas a smaller applications will have only 2-pin plug. But however, it is not harm, or it is not it is nothing like we cannot use 3-pin for all appliances. We have to use actually. That is only safety. So when I use 3-pin plug, I can use this configuration or I can use this configuration depending upon the size of the plug. That depends upon the capacity of the current capacity of the appliance and even the socket, plug also. Now, if I take three plug, these two pins are, one is for phase, other one is for neutral, and the third one, the top one, is nothing but the earth wire. That is nothing but earthing wire or grounding wire. For example, as it is going to help in our home, these two lines are coming from the outside and this appliance is inside the home. Between these two, the medium is switchboard, and this switchboard is having internal wiring connections coming from outside and distributed all around the total complete home through walls, right? As I told you, these two wires are having connections with only this and this, or this and this. What about this one? This one, this top one and this top one, both are meant for earthing. Now, one lead coming out from this wire, this hole, and one lead coming from this hole. And like this, if you have many number of switchboards or sockets in different rooms, if you are having three triple bedroom house, how many number of sockets and how many number of switchboards you have, from all of them you can have a ground wire and take out all the ground wires to put together and connect at one point, and that point you can connect it to a rod and insert into a ground at the back or in front of the house. Now what happens if you insert this 3-pin plug, and if you look at the construction of the 3-pin plug, this top one is having more length and remaining phase and neutral pins are having less length. The reason is, when you hold this one, you want to switch on this refrigerator. When you hold this one, if you are trying to plug in that, if you are trying to plug in it, first of all, this ground wire, this earth wire will go inside and will press like this. That means your appliance will directly initially connect it to ground. Then these two are going to have a connection with phase to phase and neutral to neutral. At that point of time, from phase to phase, neutral to neutral, there is a closed path. So therefore, the current starts flowing through the appliance and will go back through neutral. That means, so this is inserted here, and this is inserted here, and this is inserted here. So this is phase, this is neutral, this is ground. So whenever you connect like this, since I told you this is having more length, so when you are trying to plug in, first this is going to touch the ground. That means initially your appliance is grounded, and then phase is connected and neutral phase are connected at a time, because both are having same length, but it is lesser than the length of ground pin. Okay, and then what happens if you switch on this that one, immediately current starts flowing through the appliance and will go back through neutral wire. Now, what happens if this is not there? What happens if you are using a 3-pin plug instead of 3-pin? Suppose due to some misconnection or some kind of unwanted issues or unwanted situations, untoward incidents, what happens if there is a short circuit without a ground pin? If you are inserting only 2-pin plug into the switchboard, then what happens? This body gets charged. Over the surface of the body, there is a charge. Now, you don't, because you are not getting any spark, you are not getting any symptom also. You insert it, you are thinking that, you are presuming that the fridge is working, and suddenly you hold this one handle and you will open it. Now, whenever there is a charge on the surface of the body, automatically the charge will go to your body through the, go to the ground through your body, and you will get shocked. If the current capacity is more, if the short circuit intensity is more, that even take your life also. So to avoid that, if you are using ground wire, if this ground wire is having more length, that is first initially grounded, connected to the ground wire, which is already these two pins are connected together and already earthed. This is already grounded. That means when this pin is first initially connected, your refrigerator is initially connected to ground. So that means even if in that case, if there is any due to any misconnection, if there is a short circuit, even if there is charge on the body also, that will directly lead to where ground. That will directly lead to where ground, because out of three connections, these two are at same potential, but this is at zero potential. These two are at same potential, and this is at zero potential. As I already we discussed in the earlier classes, current always takes the least resistance path, or I can say it goes from high potential to low potential. So since it is 0 volts, I think this is the best way to go for the current. So therefore, this entire body charge is going to divert into the ground, and even if you hold this also, you will not get any shock. Of course, the appliance will not work. That is secondary, but that will not be pass it through your body to the ground. That is the reason 3-pin plug is always suggestible. That means the ground wire is nothing but a safety precautionary item in the electrical system. So every part of the switchboard should be connected to the ground, and every part of the appliance should have the ground pin. Then only these two are going to be synchronized, and then only when there is a short circuit on the body, short circuit in any part of the system, if the appliance body is getting charge over the surface, that charge can be diverted to the ground with these two connections. One is a ground pin of the appliance, and is a ground wire of the system in the house. Right. Suppose you have a ground pin and these two are grounded. You have a ground pin and these two are grounded, and I am holding it, but still there is a chance that you may get shocked at particularly rare situations. At that point of time, at what point of time? See, a fan is an example for 2-pin plug. So you are inserting like this. There is no safety for the fan. As of even till today also, there is no safety for the fan, because fan is having only 2-pin plug. So if possible, please try to use 3-pin plug for the fan also. I think, but based on the electrical connections of the fan, it may not be possible, but you can customize it. And refrigerator, washing machine, electrical cooker, induction stove, air cooler, and air conditioner, all the big items will be coming under this category. They have 3-pin plug. Therefore, I think there is little protection to the personnel using these kind of appliances. Right? Now, the second one is, I have told you, even if you have this ground wire also, ground pin and ground wire also, even still sometimes you get shock. The reason is, here I explained only with a single phase transformer, but generally 90% of the distribution systems will be only 3-phase. Why? Because you have number of connections, number of houses. So one R neutral will go to one home. Y neutral will go to another home, home 2, home 1. And blue neutral will go to home 3. It is a 3-phase system. Basically, always the transformer primary will be delta and the secondary will be in star connection, especially in distribution systems, right? The reason is, all the domestic appliances are actually working with the single phase system, where we have one phase and one neutral. So therefore, it is compulsory important to ensure that the secondary winding of the 3-phase transformer must be connected in star connection only, but not delta connection. If you use delta connection, you cannot facilitate the neutral wire. So therefore, the system will not work. So R, Y, D, red, yellow, blue, these three are the phase wires. So R is one phase wire, Y is one phase wire, B is one phase wire. R and neutral, these two constitute one single phase. Y neutral, these two constitute another single phase. B neutral, these two constitute another single phase. So that means I am giving to 3 homes. Example I am telling you. Now, different, because in home 1, all lights, all fans and all appliances are on. In home 2, only 50% are on. In home 3, no appliances on, because they are vacant. They are not at home. Now that means what happens? The lines are carrying different currents, and obviously the rated path is given by neutral. That means even neutral is also carrying different currents. Excuse me. As I mentioned here, what the current carried by phase wire, the same current is going to be carried by the neutral wire. Therefore, if I am giving 3 ohms, as 3 ohms are having different load conditions, the current passes through YB and the current passes to neutral. I mean the return path coming from the R, Y, B, definitely different. That means what is the significance of this neutral here actually? It is going to take all the different currents from the different phase wires and will neutralize it. And then this becomes a balancing system. Otherwise, the system will become imbalanced. Because of the imbalance, voltage regulation will affect and there will be a shutdown of the system also. And there is a imbalance load conditions. One wire will take more load, the other wire will take less load. Because of this one, will be having a add-on difficulties for the smooth transmission or distribution of the electrical power. So this neutral purpose here is actually to balance the complete system, right? Now, as I mentioned you, even if you have a ground pin and ground wire at home, also sometimes you get shocked. Why? Because if the transformer secondary, if it is not grounded, then there is a possibility that you also get shocked here. Here case. Definitely, this transformer neutral will be grounded. What is the reason? Because all these three phases are having different currents. In order to balance the system, this neutral must be connected to the ground. Then only the differentiated current will go through the ground and will balance the system. Right? So therefore, fan, refrigerator, transformer. Now, in transmission lines also, if you look at that, these are two transmission lines. At the top of these 2 lines, I have just drawn only 2 lines, but for example, so these 2 lines are having a top of line. This is also ground, earth wire only. This is also earth wire or ground wire only. What is this wire called? Actually, it is a ground wire connected at the generator side to the ground. And the signal will come to the appliance side, and at the end of the distribution side also it is grounded. So it is a complete grounding system for the entire transmission system. That is, one is at generator side, the other one is at appliances side. So despite of all these conditions, if something happens, something goes wrong, still there is a chance that we may get shocked. So all these are nothing but only precautionary items. So I think, hope you understand. So in simple language, neutral is nothing but the return path for the current, whereas earthing is nothing but the bypassing of the short circuit or fault current, which may occur, or the amount of charge that can be accumulated over the surface of the body, not inside the conductor which is connected to the appliances. So earthing and grounding are nothing but precautionary items for the personnel who are working with the electrical system, whereas neutral is nothing but the return path for the current to go from load to source. So please watch this video completely till the end. Don't skip the video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and share it to many people. Please like the video. If you like the video, this video will reach to many people. YouTube is always doing only one thing. YouTube algorithm is depending upon the number of likes received. If more number of likes are received to a particular video, that shows that the algorithm of the YouTube will understand that it is having some content and it is required to many people, and therefore it will feed it in the browsing or search pages, and will reach to many people, and they can watch it and like this video. Therefore, that will also help the student fraternity as well as the channel. So please watch the video till the end, like the video. If you like the video, please share it to your known contacts, and please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon, and don't miss the notifications. And please request all your known contacts and your relations circle to please watch the videos, and if they like, please really to subscribe the channel and support the channel. Thank you.